my feel-good breakfast show.
You're still with your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. Thank you so much for choosing to start the day off with us. Now, Philip Miller, the well-known and award-winning South African composer, has embarked upon a project to assist funding singers and musicians who are currently unable to work and earn money during this period of the COVID-19 lockdown. Joining Philip today in an interesting way is a classically trained musician, Nokuthula Magubane, who is a soprano. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Lovely to be on your show.
Well, this interpretation of Influenza 1918 was a collaborative effort from various musicians making use of voice messaging on each individual cell phone, which I think is just so fantastic. But how did you come up with the idea and how did you put it into motion?
Well, I was reading an article on COVID-19 in South Africa in the first week. And the journalist quoted a historian from UCT, professor who had written a book about Spanish flu in South Africa in 1918. And he referred to the song, and I was like, wow, there's been a song about this. And it was called Influenza 1918. So once I had the recording, I thought, no. I think I need to bring in this wonderful group of different singers who I've worked with for many years and try and make an arrangement of the song and try and make this song something that can raise consciousness for musos and singers who are struggling right now. And try and raise funds for it. So this became the idea.
And what a really fantastic way to do that and to bring that to life as well. But Influenza 1918 was composed by Reuben T. Caluza and recorded back in 1920. Anyone who hears the song and hears the music who isn't familiar with the language probably wonders then, you know, what language the song lyrics are written in and exactly what it means. So do you want to just unpack that for us, please?
So the song is written in isiZulu, and basically what the lyrics are speaking about is the pandemic that happened in 1918 of the influenza. And what it's saying is it literally wiped out families. It wiped out fiancés and fiancés and husbands and wives and virgins, and it just took everyone. And it was a very serious time. And it's just saying that we need to be careful to not, you know, just let our hearts rule us willy-nilly because we don't know what's going to happen in future. It's a time of uncertainty, which resonates really, really well with what's going on right now.
And as an artist, Nokuthula, was it a challenge for you? Was it quite challenging taking a song from so long ago and making it so relevant and saying it in ways and I suppose bringing it to life in ways that are relevant and make sense in today's context?
I think it was quite easy for me because Mr. Miller gave me basically the freedom to explore the song, and he said, you know what, here's the blueprint, here's the sheet music, let's see what we can do. So it was much easier for me instead of sticking to a very rigid and strict brief. It was much easier for me to just play with it and try and make it as relevant as possible. And I mean, I'm a storyteller using the voice. I paint with my voice, so it's very easy for me to put something into relevance now because that's what I do. That's who I am. That's the lifeblood of me being an artist, telling stories.
And you do it so beautifully. I mean, your voice is something else.
Thank you.
It's absolutely insane. The beauty of it, I think, is how everybody was so delicate with it and everybody handled it so well, and they really did keep the integrity and the originality of the message in this entire process, which must have been quite difficult. But let's talk about the pieces that, you know, had to come together to bring it together. You've got how many singers in total, and how many and what instruments did you use? How were they selected? All of these singers that you worked with from all over the world. I know you mentioned someone from Rio.
Yeah. Well, the person from Rio was the filmmaker who edited the film together. So I wanted to bring, it's almost like what I say, my music family of people who are all in my family who I know, I care about, I know their children, I know their lives, and I wanted to have that. And so I brought just literally a group of people who are both wonderful singers, but also people I know. And there are 8 singers. I mean, maybe, you know, you want to talk about it as well, our own work together. Yeah.
We've only been working together, I think, for about, 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. And it's an absolutely beautiful experience. You build a brilliant working relationship, and you build a relationship of relying on each other, because I know when Mr. Miller calls me, he knows that I'm a reliable person. For when projects like this come up, you know that you've got reliable people, and you've got people, who will put out the best and do the best work to their abilities,
The crazy thing with it was that, I took the recording, I transcribed because there isn't actually sheet music as far as I know.
Music,
I wrote down the different parts, the soprano and the alto and the bass and the tenor. And then I kind of, let's call it, sent those out with backing tracks, which people listen to literally like I'm doing here on the phone. You had your backing track. You all were in the same key. You were all at the same tempo at the same time. And that was the only way you could put this together like a puzzle.
It was a new experience. Genius. It was a challenge.
It's genius.
But it was a challenge well met.
I love it. I love how you've been able to do this. And I think it takes a great deal of trust, but certainly a great deal of chemistry as well to be able to do work in this new way of doing work and of making music, but music that still goes out to connect with people and touches them in such beautiful ways. But people want to know, how can they get involved? How can the public get involved in this cause?
So we've tried to put it on as much social media platforms as possible. It's firstly, you could go to a link called Busker, which is a South African link to allow for musicians, singers, and artists to perform. It's been 5 weeks, and we're close now to 100,000 rand for small amounts of people. It's just been an incredible response, and obviously this is about trying to help, people who are really, have lost work for the whole year. People don't know what's going to happen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Philip Miller and Nokuthula Magubane, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Go out there and show them all of the love and all of the support. Philip has brought together a team of young vocalists with whom he has collaborated over a period of several decades, and he's incorporated each singer's recording into his new rendition of Influenza 1918. You've got to hear it. The campaign went live on the 1st of May 2020, and using the online platform Busker, donations can be made into the relief fund. It is such a good cause. All funds will be raised, of course, and they'll be spread to a community of local South African singers and musicians who very much need it during this time. This is such fantastic work.